what is that feeling for you, like, whenever you're there?
Yeah, bro, it's a scary feeling. You really have to embrace the lows, right? Like, be patient in the macro, and go real hard and focus on the micro. And so when you're starting out, for me, it was like a fucking nightmare, because one day you're up, you're the fucking man around here, and the next day you don't know if you're gonna be in business in 2 weeks, and then you're like, I have such a big dream, and people are throwing shit at you, right? And you're like, they want to offer you this, but you're like, that's not really like part of the plan. But you don't want to say no because you're afraid to lose opportunities. But I'll share a story. I'll never forget the worst day of my life as an insurance agent. I had made 382 phone calls that day. I had 4 appointments that flaked on me. Like, all day, I'm just getting kicked in the nuts, bro. And this was probably 4 months in. And so, I'm pushing deadlines, and I'm like, we got to get paid, right? Like, something has to happen, because, you're in reserves at that point. And I'm driving home in my 2009 Chrysler 300. And I remember just watching the sunset, and our office was by the Dominion, the rich side of town, where, the Spurs players and stuff live. And I'll never forget, I'm just listening, and I'm like, you have to embrace this, because this is character development. Quitting's not an option. We got to keep going. And then, bro, like you would see in a fucking movie, zoom, 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 2 Lamborghinis and a Nissan GTR. Not only were driving next to me, they were weaving in and out of traffic, just hauling ass, bro. And I looked over, and I called my mentor at the time. I'm like, bro, you will never believe what I just witnessed, dog. And he was like, the universe is winking at you. And I feel like for us to unlock the blessings that God has for us, you have to be capable. You have to be tried and true. And it's very similar to how a knife or a sword is built. You take that motherfucker and you put it in very, very, very high temperatures, and then you pull it out and you beat the shit out of it, and then you dump it in cold ass water, and you wash, rinse, and repeat that cycle over and over and over until you're forged into this beautiful piece of metal that can cut through anything. And so my life is just, stop trying to neglect that and embrace that. Everything is fire. Like, we don't have to be so scared when shit gets tough, because that's where you learn the most. And so I feel like for me, that was my experience. It was all shifted mindset, but I've been so gracious and grateful to have the universe winking at me like that. I see so many signs of like, this is going to work out. Your dreams are where they're aligned. The stars are aligning.